So first of all, guys, I really want to tell you how excited I am that you included me in your decision to make this move.
Sure.
Right? And so I want to get set up here a little bit. We're going to probably need some pins in a minute. Got some paperwork here for us. So as I begin the presentation, I first want to start. Did you guys get the package that I sent over to you?
Yes, we did.
Did you? Good. You get a chance to look at it at all?
Yes, we did.
Great. So there was one form that was in that package that I really want to point out to you two today. Okay? And here in California, we know we've got a form called agency disclosure. And we have an obligation as an agent to lay out the rules. Okay? So I want to point out this form because it's going to come up and it's going to be very important in our presentation today. All right? So what I want Jeff, see this little thing I circled right here? Read that out loud to me.
To the seller is a fiduciary duty of utmost care, integrity, honesty, and loyalty in dealing with the sellers.
Okay, and so when we begin our contract together, I have a legal duty to look out for your best interest and be honest. Okay? Had you seen this form before?
No.
No.
Okay. So is it okay with you guys if we start that relationship now where I'm legally bound to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
please.
Great. So as we begin the presentation, I started out by writing down 3 really important questions, okay? First of all, do you guys absolutely have to sell this home?
Yes, we do. We have to get to LA.
So you got to get moved, right?
Yes.
The second thing I'd written down is, will you price your home at a price that will cause it to sell, or do you want it to sit on the market for a long period of time?
We can't have it on the market
No, we
for
can't.
a long time.
But we don't want to give it away
No.
either.
So you don't want to give it away,
No.
but you
No.
definitely are going to put it in a position where it'll sell.
Yes.
Great. And then I also wrote down, really important, do you two want me to go ahead and handle the sale for you today?
You know, we want to see what you have to say first.
Okay, so you really want to explore what we're doing?
Yes.
Great. So at the end of my presentation today, one of 3 things will happen. Number 1, you'll have the opportunity to go ahead and list your home with me. Number 2, you may decide not to list your home with me. Or number 3, I may decide not to take the listing. And believe me, any one of those 3 is fine. Fair enough?
Why wouldn't you take our listing?
Yeah, if we're not able to come to terms on price, or if you have some unrealistic expectations, I'd rather that we part as friends. Because once again, I'm obligated to be honest with you, right? So if it comes to a position where we're not to come to agreement, then I'm going to step back. Fair enough?
Sure.
Good. So let's quickly take a moment and go over the questions that I asked you on the phone.
Sure.
Okay? Now, Kath, I only had a chance to chat with you on the phone.
Right.
And you mentioned that we're going to Los Angeles.
Yes, we are.
And Jeff had a job transfer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this was an upgrade for you.
Absolutely. More money. We're going to get a bigger house out there, so I'm excited.
Great. And it's really exciting that it's a move up, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned that you had to report to work April 1st.
I have to be there April 1st.
Wow. So I want us to log in something. We've got a 60-day clock. Okay, we've got a 60-day clock that started ticking now. You've got to be there. Okay, were there any other options other than selling this home and moving to Los Angeles? Was there any other options as far as were you going to rent there, or what were you going to do if you didn't sell this home?
We need the cash in this home to get our other place.
Okay, and as I mentioned to you on the phone, we talked about a referral agent. You still open to that thought? That we
Yes.
could refer you a great agent in Los
Tony
Angeles?
said he would have a great agent in LA to help us buy the house there.
Oh,
Good.
You could do that?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And you mentioned that you wanted to price your home at $275. Okay, good. And you said that you owed about $150 at this time. Okay, so we have about $90,000 in equity that it's my job to protect. Right? That's the equity
Yes,
that I'm here to
yes.
protect. Good. And you mentioned that selling it yourself was not an option.
No,
You're gonna list with me.
we're going to list.
Okay, good. Good. And you also mentioned that you're definitely pulling the cash out, and you want to take the cash to purchase a home in Los Angeles.
Yes, yes.
Good. So I've prepared what we call a comparative market analysis, and there's really 2 parts to this research, okay? But when we want to look at it, we want to look at your motivation first, okay? And so your motivation to sell this home and the price that we set on the home are the 2 most important factors in selling. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
Okay, good. And it's important that you really understand this because it really comes down to price and motivation. And so when we looked at this comparative market analysis, there's really these 2 parts that we get back to. Part 1 we call fantasy land, okay? It's what real estate agents list homes for. You've seen some of the signs in the neighborhood for a while? Yeah, fantasy land. And then part 2 we call reality. It's what real estate agents list and actually sell homes for. And we're going to have to decide tonight where you two are going to spend your time, okay?
Okay.
So let's take a time. We're going to go through the 2 parts together. Now, the purpose of this comparative market analysis is to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a buyer. Are you guys clear on how buyers determine value?
They just kind of look around and compare prices, right?
Exactly right. So they comparison shop, right? And so the buyers are going to comparison shop your home, its features and benefits, and they're going to match it against the other homes that are for sale, the features and benefits of those homes, and some of the homes that have sold, right? And so it really makes sense that comparative shopping is the way to go, right?
Yes.
So I want to take it one step further,
Okay,
okay? When I was looking at the home, I noticed you guys have a BMW in the garage.
yes.
Yes.
Like the car?
Yes.
Right.
Love it.
So let's pretend that you're a buyer and you want to go out and buy a new car, okay? And as great, smart shoppers, you're going to do a little comparison shopping. And let's say you go to one dealership that has the BMW you're looking for,
Okay.
and they are selling that for $60,000. And as a good shopper, you continue looking, you go to another dealership, has the same exact car for $60,000, except it has upgraded wheels and tires, sound system's been upgraded, has a GPS system, okay? So based on that comparison, which one of those two cars is more valuable?
The second one with the rims and the navigation,
Exactly. Why would you say that?
because it's more for the same money.
More for the same money. Now, one step further, let's assume that the first dealership with the basic model, let's assume they decided to drop the price of their car to $50,000. Kathy, now which one's more valuable?
The less expensive one,
Why?
because maybe I don't need all those things and I can buy a lot of stuff for $10,000.
Exactly right, okay? And it's the same thing in what we do in real estate. So unless you guys are planning on adding more features and benefits to your home, are you guys planning on adding more
Oh,
features
we're not
to the
doing
house?
nothing else, no.
No, we're done.
No, we're done.
So you're done.
Yes.
So then it really is price, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's take some time now. We're going to dig into these comparables, all right?
Okay.
We really want to take a look at what's going on out there, all right? So the first comparable I want to show you, we're going to point out some things. Are you guys familiar with 20377 Paiute Road?
Yeah, that's right down the street over here.
Exactly, right down the street,
Yeah,
right?
they just had an open house.
Sure, that one's listed for sale right now. So how many bedrooms does that house have?
4,
And how many baths, Kath?
2.5,
Okay, and what year was that house built?
1997.
All right, and the square footage?
It's 2530.
And your square footage is?
About, what are we?
Like 2,900.
Yeah, so you're a little bit bigger than this house,
A little
right?
bit bigger, yeah.
Right, you're a little bit bigger.
Ours is a little better.
Yeah, and so we talked about earlier about that clock that's ticking. How long has this property been on the market?
66 days.
Ooh, it would have passed your clock, wouldn't it have?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, been over.
I have to get to LA.
Right? So that would have been over. Okay. Let's take a look at another home that's currently for sale right now.
Okay.
Okay. Are you familiar with the property at 13687 Choco Road?
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. It has two big palm trees, blue trim. Haven't
Oh, I
seen
know
it?
which house that is. Yeah, look at the picture.
Yeah.
Which
So
one is that, honey?
It's the one with the blue trim.
Oh, is that next to the Peters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
house, right?
yeah.
And so how many bedrooms does it have, Jeff?
It's 4 bedrooms,
How many baths?
2,
And when was that built?
1999.
Gotcha. And what are they asking for that home?
That one is priced at $249,900.
$249,900. Okay. And how long has it been on the market?
11 days.
Pretty new to market, right?
Yes,
Time will
yes.
tell.
Yes.
Time will tell. The third property that I want to compare is one of those that starts to get closer to what you guys are looking at. Okay, this is a little closer to your home.
Okay.
So this property is over on Ridgeview, right here in the same neighborhood. Are you familiar with Ridgeview? Great. And how many bedrooms does that have?
4,
And baths?
3,
And what year was it built?
1990.
Wow. And what's the square footage?
Ooh, 2658.
Right? And it's priced at what?
263.5.
Okay. Here's the bad news on that, though. How long has it been on the market?
74 days.
74 days. Okay. And what I'd like you to do is read, what does it say right here in the comments?
Absolutely beautiful, custom-built home.
Okay? So that passed your clock, but is absolutely beautiful home. Okay? So now we're going to have to dig into the next part of what we look at, part 2, which is the reality of what's going on.
Okay.
Okay? And these are the sold properties. Okay? The first one I really want to have you look at is a property. I was involved in this sale. Okay? This is at 19285 Choli Road. Okay? How many bedrooms does that house have?
That's a 3-bedroom,
3 bedroom. How many baths?
3 baths.
Right? What's the age of it?
1991 it was built.
Great. And what's the square footage?
That is a 2764,
Right. And what did it sell for?
249.9.
Right? Okay? And how long did it take?
6 days, wow, that's fast.
Yeah, so it met your clock, didn't it?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Good. The next one I want you to really consider is a property on Big Sky, right here in the same development. Okay? How many bedrooms?
3 bedrooms,
How many baths?
2 baths,
Okay. The age?
2000 built,
Okay. Square footage?
2439. That's a lot smaller
It's
than
quite a
ours.
bit smaller, right? And so what was the sales price of this?
That sold for 255.
255, right? Look at the comments on this.
Custom tile, beautiful carpet, granite countertops. Have you seen our countertops?
Sounds familiar, doesn't
Yes,
it?
yes, yes.
Right? Sounds familiar. So the last comparable sale that I want to really show you is one that I would consider probably the closest to what we have. Okay,
Okay.
And this is right on the money. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This house is over on Kenai Road. Okay, how many bedrooms?
4,
Right, baths,
3,
age.
2007.
Ooh, so a little newer, right?
Newer.
But it's there, right? What did that property sell for?
That sold for 260.
Right, 260.
Yeah.
Now, scary thing is,
Wow.
how long did it take?
75 days.
Right, so it was pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and read the comments on that, Kat.
It says custom-built home by Ralph Roca,
Right, and
granite counters.
right? So, sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
So, based on the facts of the market, the
Yes.
facts that we got to see here today, what price do you two feel would create that value that we were talking about in the eyes of the buyer to have them choose your home over the competition?
I'm totally confused. What do you think?
I think we should start at 275.
Okay, 275.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's fine, and it's a natural thought to have, right?
Yeah.
So you saw some facts that showed less than 275. May I ask why you're still holding on to 275?
Well, we're going to put it on the market, and we don't just want to give the home away. So we want room to negotiate.
Okay. And specifically, why do you feel your home in this case is worth $15,000 more than your neighbor's?
Well, we got the thicker granite,
Right,
and
right.
we've got the nicer floors and the custom paint.
Okay. And so we noticed in all these homes had nice carpet and paint, and some of them had granite, right?
Yes.
And so did you put these features into your home for your use, or did you put them in for the buyer?
Thought they were for us.
You put them in for you,
Yes,
right?
uh-huh.
And so what would happen if a buyer came over to look at your home, they liked your floor plan, they liked the layout of it, right? But they decided to take the carpet out and put hardwood floors all through the main part of the house. How much value, now, how much value would be in that carpet that you have?
Well, none.
Exactly, and there's a chance that could happen, right? Those were put in for your own specific tastes and needs, weren't they?
True,
Right?
true.
So what I'm going to recommend is I'm going to recommend that we price this property today at $259,900. Will you guys go ahead and sign the contract tonight for that price?
So at 259, Tony, will you cut your commission first? Will you do it for 4%?
You know, sorry, no, my company policy is that we have 6%. Are there any other questions you have before we sign the contract?
I think somebody else would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, are we still talking to Peggy?
Yeah, we can.
I think we're going to think about it. We're going to talk to Peggy.
Ah, okay, so it's a natural response. Now, have you already met with Peggy?
No, we haven't. She's been, she sells a lot of homes here, and I think she would do it for the 4%.
So she would do it for, yeah, and I want to share with you why that really makes me nervous, fair enough?
Okay.
If an agent does not have the courage to stand up to you two regarding their own worth, how strong could they possibly be defending you and that $90,000 of equity that I'm here to protect?
That's a good point.
It is a good point.
Jeff, Kathy, I have that courage. Do you feel I can sell your home?
So can I just ask you, can you get it done in 60 days?
I wouldn't be here if I couldn't.
Could we do like 269?
So there's three decisions that you have to make while you're here today.
Okay.
And there's really only three. If we want to take it to the simplest form possible, there's only three decisions.
Okay.
You have to decide, are you definitely going to sell your home?
Yes.
So you guys definitely going to sell
Yes.
it?
Right, yes.
Number two, you're going to have to decide what price will cause it to sell
Okay,
and what price would cause it to sit on the market.
yes.
And then the third decision you have to decide is who's going to do it for you, right? So let's look at these three decisions you have to make. You definitely have to sell it,
Yes.
and price sounds like there's still a little issue there,
Little issue.
okay? So what happens if we were to price the home here and you were to miss your mark, the 60-day mark?
I'd be stuck here.
There's a couple of homes that we'd seen that had done that, right?
Yes.
Already. They'd already
Yes.
got the 74, there was a
Yeah.
66, right?
Yeah.
So they'd done what you're thinking. Price it high and see what happens. And there's proof, factual proof that when you do that, how well does it work?
Didn't work.
It didn't work.
No.
So wouldn't it make sense to price your home in a position that you would get maybe multiple offers, or certainly get it sold in 6 days and then have a 45-day escrow with some breathing room? Wouldn't it make sense if we just went ahead and signed the contract at that price tonight so I can get you to Los Angeles on schedule. It's not complicated. Just sign the contract.
What do you think?
What price?
$259.9.
You think we'll get multiple offers?
Yeah, put me to work. Put me to work.
I think we should do it, babe.
Put him to work.
Okay. Good job.